Hi, it's Jason Gorber from thatshelf.com. We're here to talk about Decision to Leave, the latest film from Park Chan-Wook. I just got some chocolate. I know I'm being weird here. I'm on my counter. I got some chocolate and it melted in about 30 seconds. So this is sort of how I feel about Ken. It's hot. It's been very humid. But some films have not lived up to that heat. Some films already went in like really hoping for a little bit more than we ended up getting. And one of those is Park Chan-Wook's Decision to Leave. Now, it is by no means a complete disaster. The way that other films by other master filmmakers, some of which are set in Asia, but Decision to Leave just didn't work for me. It came super close. It's an intriguing sort of storyline. You have the elements of a noir story. You have a detective who's has insomnia. He's absolutely driven by the case that he has. He keeps them on his wall, all the cases that he hasn't been able to solve. And then you have this woman who ostensibly gets wrapped up into a murder mystery. And thus you have the cop falling in love with his suspect. I compared it in one of my reviews to, to Chungking Express, and in a specific way, in a specific tonal way. Obviously, there's a police person and somebody actually stealing from him in that film, or not stealing, breaking and entering anyway. And the dynamic is played, but it's meant to upend that sort of character balance about that everyone sort of stops being who they're meant to be, and the characters sort of merge into this sort of collective thing. And this film does that to a certain extent. When it works, it's actually quite lovely. The ending, which is completely predictable, is yet nonetheless beautiful, and that's Park Chan-Wook. There are very small moments of visual artistry, which reminds what a tremendous filmmaker it is. And yet, it just didn't come together for me. It didn't coalesce. It didn't really succeed in the way that I think that it sort of intended to. So it feels minor from a major artist. It's as simple as that. And yeah, look, we all have baggage from what came before. But certainly this isn't a film that has a unique sense of discovery. That goes without saying. It certainly builds upon other works of his, Handmaiden. I saw a little bit of Lady Vengeance in there. But on a fundamental basis, it just felt like it dragged. It just felt like it didn't know where it wanted to go, that it just spent too much time luxuriating in its own sort of narrative elements, never truly making a sense of either dread or true passion. I mean, it's meant to be this sort of super reticent lack of communication thing, but sometimes that really works in films and sometimes it doesn't, and just for me it didn't work. So by no means is it something that I'm saying you shouldn't see. You should see it, you should experience it, you should make up your own minds, but it's certainly at the best a minor work by a major artist. At worst, really kind of annoying at times. You're just kind of waiting for things to actually play out. As I said, if you really sort of dive into some of the moments towards the ending, even though it's overt, even though it's obvious, even though it's like it sort of plays out very melodramatically, it's still kind of an intriguing idea. The very, very last frames have answers to questions that are addressed earlier in the film. I think that there were actually a bunch of walkouts. I think those people made a terrible decision to leave. I obviously stayed right to the bitter end, the very bitter end. But I never truly got a sense of either ennui or angst that I think that this film certainly was attempting to generate and just never quite came across. So there we are, Decision to Leave. As I said, a minor film from a major artist here playing at the 2022 Cannes International Film Festival. Please follow us on social media. Please leave comments, like the video, do all the stuff we need to do. It really helps. Silly algorithms, stuff like that, but it allows us to actually cover films from festivals like this and bring you an early look at these type of titles. Thanks so much. I'm Jason Gore for thatshelf.com. We will see you next time. Take care.